Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. In today's video tutorial, I'm going to talk about a new and exciting announcement that we have here at NameHero, and that's one-click WordPress staging for all web hosting accounts. So this means for all of our web hosting customers, all of our reseller customers, and your customers, and all of our VPS hosting customers, you now have this feature available inside of your account. So this means that you can one click and you can stage your WordPress site to develop it. So let's say you're adding a new design. You can do a one-click staging environment, set up your WordPress website in a test environment so all your changes aren't seen by your visitors. And then when you're ready to take it live, you can push it out to the live site and your visitors, they never even notice this. So I know this has been a feature request that we've had for quite some time here at NameHero. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you completely how to do this and how to use this and make this work for your website. But before we begin, I just want to highlight a little bit about who we are here at NameHero in case you're not yet using us, just so you can become familiar with our services. And if you're already a customer and you're wanting to do this, you can jump ahead in the video. That's certainly the benefit to filming here on YouTube. But for those that don't know us, we are a high-speed cloud WordPress web host here at NameHero. We host a little more than 20,000 websites where we see about 99% of our customers use WordPress in some capacity or another. So I invite you to check out our website here because we have just a lot of information about exactly what we do and who we are and how we're a little bit different. The first thing that I have to mention is we are very customer oriented at NameHero. It's our goal that we provide 10 for 10 customer service and satisfaction. I know this is one thing in the web hosting industry that seems to have disappeared over the years, that companies, they kind of forget about the customer. So of course we have testimonials all through our site, but I really encourage you to read our review page because unlike other web hosts out there, we actually publish reviews from our support department. So we have reviews here. This is by Shopper Approved, a third-party service that actually collects reviews from us, and they verify that these are true customers, and we have no ability to go in and edit or modify or even delete these reviews. But if you go on down here, of course, we've got some social media reviews and stuff like that from Facebook, but what I really want to highlight is our support reviews. You just don't see a lot of web hosting companies do this. Each and every month, we collect feedback from our customers that ask for support. So after they submit a ticket and they close the ticket, they're asked to fill out a survey and rate the text and also provide some support or some reviews on the text. So, I encourage you to read over those because I think it's very important when making a decision on your web host, to see, are you going to get the support that you need? And again, a lot of companies, they're quick to post testimonials, but testimonials can be altered, right? So that's why we do this, and we have for quite some time. So, feel free to go through the previous months, see what our current customers are saying, and ultimately you can make your own decision, based on that. So that's really important to know that's something we do here at NameHero. But then you can go on down here on our site and we talk about our infrastructure here at NameHero. So this is something that also separates NameHero from the other kind of traditional, maybe big brand hosting as you may consider them. Is we use our whole infrastructure is built on top of the cloud. And we're really one of the first web hosting providers to build a cloud infrastructure that allows for affordability, meaning that you can start at NameHero for a little bit under $5 a month, and then you can kind of scale up as your business grows. We only use solid state drives protected by RAID 10. We don't see a lot of shared reseller and even VPS hosting companies offer this because SSD with RAID 10 is a bit more expensive than other technologies used, but it's a lot faster and a lot more redundant. Same with the Lightspeed web server. All of our web hosting packages and reseller packages, they use the Lightspeed web server. And what you're going to find if you're using WordPress is that you're going to get up to 10 times faster load speed than Apache. And this is what a lot of other web hosts out there, they use by default. They use Apache. So you're going to get a huge increase in speed with the SSD drives and Lightspeed. We also have Cloudflare integrated directly, so you can also use the Railgun technology. The Railgun allows you to allows your visitors to pull your static resources from the data center closest to them. So for example, if I'm going to NameHero.com, NameHero is using Cloudflare's Railgun, and when my browser here goes to download like the CSS and the JavaScript and even pulls the images for the site, it actually pulls from a Cloudflare data center here in Kansas City, because that's where I'm located. That's where our offices are located. So it pulls from the data center closest to the user. So it really increases the page load time and decreases the latency of the website. If you were to go to Cloudflare and purchase this service individually, it's only available on their business package, which is $200 a month. So you get this for free at NameHero on all of our packages. And if you're a reseller, your customers get this as well. We also have tons of features. And again, you can go through our site and read up about all the additional features. I'm going to highlight a couple of those before we jump into this tutorial. All of our support is 24/7, 365. We have phone support, live chat, and 15-minute response time on our tickets. Some people get confused about our live chat. If you go down here, here's all this stuff. One, you can click here to give us a call. If you have FaceTime or Skype, it will open that up. Our live chat, you click right here, and this will spawn a new window. And of course, if you want to send a ticket, you just click here, and this will open up the ticket desk where you can get in there. So you have 3 options available all the time, 24/7. Our main features, and as I said, I'll get into a little more specifics, but free and auto SSL. If you don't have an SSL certificate in 2018, you get a warning in Chrome. You certainly don't want that, and security is a big concern in the hosting industry as a whole. So you want to get a free auto SSL certificate. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to configure it. It just works. We're known for our blazing fast redundancy. 99.9% uptime. This is something we also do. On our review page here, if I go down to the bottom, we actually publish our uptime reports. Each year we have a couple of our nodes and we show third-party uptime reports. We're actually coming close to ending 2018, so we'll even have a lot more here soon. So again, we try to back up our claims by factual data. So instead of just, making claims on our website, we back these up by reports. So, a lot of our current customers, they talk about this on the message boards. They talk about this on the review sites. But, this is something we don't take lightly. We want to be online because we realize how important it is to have your website online. So it's a big key feature here at NameHero. And also, if you want to migrate your website from your current web host, we do that. There are some terms and conditions, so check it out. Within the first 30 days of your account, we'll move 10 complimentary cPanels. So this is, a lot for our resellers, right? If you're moving to our basic hosting, it comes with 1 cPanel, we'll move you over. But if you're a reseller, we'll move up to 10 of your cPanels that you have. If you need more, then we will, provide you a quote and get those moved as well. If you have a VPS, we can also look at it and see what we can do for you. All of our accounts come with our one-click installer, Softaculous, and we're going to talk about that today specifically in doing our WordPress staging environment. Again, as I said at the beginning of the video, we have a little bit over 20,000 websites currently hosted with NameHero. We have a little bit more than 800 reviews on Shopper Approved. You can see some of them here. We have we were awarded the 99.9% uptime award by Host Advice, where they actually signed up for our services and proved that as well. We use Cloud Linux, so this is another reason for some of our redundancy, is Cloud Linux allows us to scale our cloud infrastructure. Light speeds, we kind of highlighted that, faster than Apache, and of course we have our great relationship with Cloudflare. So let's go look at our basic hosting packages, and what I'm going to do to demonstrate this staging environment is I'm going to set up a fresh package, just like I'm a new NameHero customer, so I can start from the very beginning and then show you kind of from start to finish, how you sign up for a package, how you install WordPress, and then how you clone or stage that WordPress if you want to create, a new website, a new theme, or test some new features. So these are our web hosting packages, kind of our bread and butter here at NameHero. Our starter cloud and plus cloud, these start at a year. So this means you have to sign up for at least a year for these packages. If you want to sign up and pay month to month, you can do that with our Turbo or business cloud. At NameHero, we really don't like month to month billing. And we do this because of experience. What we see with month to month billing is customers will sign up. Their credit card may expire after 10 months or 12 months. Their card's lost or the number changes. And then their hosting gets suspended. And when you have a website, and especially if you have a business and your hosting gets suspended, it can make your customers angry, mad. They don't trust you as much. And so that's why we feel like, if we're talking, $3 and $5 a month here, it's best just to bill 1 month or 1 year in advance and then on up from there. That way you don't have to worry about hosting charges every month. But I do understand some customers, they absolutely just want to pay monthly, so that's why our Turbo and Business allow that. But at NameHero, we reward customers for the longer they sign up. So to get the very best rate, which is what's shown on these packages, we recommend signing up for 36 months. That's 3 years, and that means you only have to worry about one hosting payment every 3 years. And that's why I suggest, just so you don't have to worry about doing that every single month, every single year. You just worry about it every 3 years and your website stays online. But it's up to you what you want to do, but those are the options here at NameHero. Now, on our packages here, we have suitable for 10,000 visits monthly, suitable for 25,000, 50,000, 100,000. Now, this is important. We don't limit the number of visitors your websites get. I know this is a question that was asked recently on our YouTube channel, and I really got a laugh out of it because the person asking was kind of mad. Like, we don't want to be limited to visitors. Well, we don't limit your visitors. This is just an estimate of what the packages hold. What we see is a lot of people come to NameHero and they don't know what package to choose from. So we kind of estimate, how many visitors is your website getting, and that's the appropriate package. Your website may get a lot more, it may get even a lot less. But this is kind of the range you should be looking at. So, you can look at your Google Analytics for last month, and, if you got 10,000 or under, you look here, 25,000 or under here. And so it just kind of gives you a gauge. We do this to make it easy on you to pick your package. Now, this is based on the CPU cores and the RAM of each package. As I mentioned, we are a cloud web host here at NameHero. So when you sign up with a package with us here at NameHero, you have these resources available to your account. So this means, you have access to one CPU core, you have access to 1 gigabyte of RAM. So really it depends on how your website's set up. If you're using WordPress, how many plugins do you have? How is your theme coded? How many users are in your database? All this kind of accounts for the RAM and CPU cores, that processing power. So the most popular package here at NameHero is a toss-up between the Plus and the Turbo. People normally choose either one of these, based if they want 2 gigs of RAM or 3. If people have, a high traffic site, they'll go with the 4. And then the next upgrade from this, of course, would be a VPS. But again, we put these resources on here so you have the option to choose. We're very transparent here at NameHero. So again, the number of visitors, this isn't, we don't limit that. If you get 50,000, we're not going to turn it off. You might get more, you might get less. It's all dependent on the RAM and CPU cores. But again, we realize some of our customers aren't as tech savvy, so we try to put the visitors as well to help you out. All of our packages that you sign up for at least a year come with 1 free domain registration or transfer. So, a lot of businesses, they like this because if you're moving from a current web host, maybe you're over at Bluehost, HostGator, or GoDaddy, you can transfer your domain to NameHero free for the first year. And you don't lose any time on that domain. Let's say you've purchased your domain at GoDaddy for 5 years, 10 years. You're not going to lose any of the time you've already purchased with GoDaddy. But when you transfer to NameHero, you keep that time, but you also gain an extra year. So you don't lose anything if you're moving. If it's a new domain, you get it for free for that year. So you're going to have a savings of about $15 for that year by going with our hosting packages here. All of our storage is unlimited. That means we don't limit the number of gigabytes of storage you use. However, we do have a limit on the inodes or files. So if you highlight over the I, it shows that limit. So it's 250,000 inodes or 250,000 files for the starter and the Plus. Now, web hosts that say unlimited everything, that's most likely a cause for concern because there's going to be a limit somewhere, right? Because, there's got to be limits to prevent overselling and to continue to have fast servers. So NameHero, we feel like that it's best to do this on the number of files that you have. 250,000 files is quite a lot. The average WordPress website uses under 1,000 files. If you're using emails, you can, if you have tons of emails, this might actually increase that limit. That's why I always recommend, keeping your email boxes clean, keeping the spam boxes clean. But 250,000 is quite a lot. If you run to that limit, you can upgrade to Turbo or Business, which allows for 500,000 files. So that's an important limit to note, but very rarely do we see customers even hit this 250,000 limit. Most customers that have more than those files, they're going for a VPS anyways, which has no such limit. Unmetered bandwidth, we don't limit the amount of bandwidth that you can use, so you don't have to worry about that. Again, the CPU cores and the RAM, that goes based on the power and speed of the package. All of our packages have the free SSL. So again, HTTPS, if you don't have this in 2018, 2019, 2020, you get a warning in the browser and your visitors don't want to see a not secure warning. So this is an absolute essential. I know some hosting providers such as GoDaddy, they still charge as much as $70 a year, actually starting at $70 a year for HTTPS, and then it kind of goes up from there. That's free and automatic at NameHero. You'll never have to pay for SSL. The SSD RAID 10, we talked about that. That's free with all these. We also have technology called Lightspeed Cache. So if you're running WordPress, it's likely somewhere along the line you've heard about WordPress caching. Lightspeed Cache works alongside the Lightspeed web server, and it's been noted to be the fastest WordPress caching plugin on the market. So if you've heard of W3 Total Cache or Jetpack Cache, Lightspeed Cache is known to be faster, but you can only use one WordPress caching plugin at a time. So this comes free on all of our packages. Highly recommend it. From our own speed tests here at NameHero, as well as Lightspeed's independent speed test, you certainly get a nice speed boost with that. So that does come free. Cloudflare with Railgun comes with all these accounts. So that's good to know. And I explained the Railgun earlier. It pulls your resources from when your visitor hits your site, it pulls the resources from the data center closest to them to decrease latency. Everything else is unlimited park domains, subdomains, and email accounts. That's on all. Now, the other big differentiating factor is the number of sites you can host on these packages. The starter, you can just host 1, the plus, 6, turbo, unlimited, business, unlimited. That's why the plus and the turbo are kind of a toss-up for the most popular, because even if you're just buying hosting for one website, maybe if you want to add another website later on down the road, or maybe you want to start another personal blog, you just have that flexibility. If you pay for 3 years, the hosting's already paid for. So most customers, they start with the plus or the turbo based on the RAM and CPU cores. All right. So again, with all that said, I do encourage you to go through our sales page here. It's a lot of information, but we try to highlight a lot of stuff that we do here at NameHero. So it's some solid information. So it's worth even printing this out or just reading through all of this. And I don't want to bore you on this video by covering all of this stuff, but I do recommend checking it out. And just so you learn more about NameHero and some of the features we have. With WordPress, we have the one-click install, the one-click staging, which I'm going to show you today, the malware protection, nightly backups. We have a lot of features that you should be aware of. The final thing that I want to highlight before I sign up for my package is the speed of NameHero. So in October of 2018, a popular YouTuber named Daryl Wilson, he does WordPress tutorials on YouTube. He actually signed up with NameHero to put us in a hosting competition with several of the big brands out there. And so I've got this post on the blog. So if you go to namehero.com/startup, you can actually just search popular YouTuber in this box and this post will come up. And you can read about, kind of why we started NameHero and then also Daryl's results. So you can see he compared NameHero to a lot of other companies. And, I would like to see NameHero here number one, but these three, if you watch his video, it was really a toss-up between us three. And this is based on the speed of the website as well as the uptime and reliability. So you can take a look at NameHero's speeds. It was very, very fast, the server response time that Daryl got there. And, we were also 100% uptime in his 30-day test. So, I don't, post this to kind of toot my own horn. I post this so you can compare NameHero to other web hosts because, in the web hosting industry, there's tons of different web hosts out there. And I think it's important for you, the consumer, for your business, to compare other web hosts. And, just so I'm not just saying NameHero's end all be all. I'm saying, compare us against others. And, some other people are doing that out there. And his video is about an hour long to where he talks about all these different companies and shows, how NameHero compared. And to me, I think one of the most surprising things that a lot of people talk about is WP Engine. Their packages start at $39 a month and then go up to $120 a month for just a couple WordPress sites. We have all the features that WP Engine has, that one-click staging, the cloud hosting, all the features. So that was quite surprising there, all the way down past Bluehost and, kind of down here with the HostGators and stuff. So anyways, not to knock them, but they're just very expensive for really what you get. So in short, do your research, do your homework. Don't even take my word in this video. If you don't think that NameHero is for you, go out, do your research and pick the web host that works for you. All right, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and sign up now with a package. I'm going to demonstrate with this Plus Cloud package. As I said, the Plus and the Turbo are a toss-up. As I said too, this tutorial, this one-click staging, it works for our resellers as well as our VPS. So if you're on a reseller account or VPS, once we get to the cPanel portion, you can follow along there as well. All right, so I'm going to select this. I need to register my domain or tell the system what domain I want to use. If you're starting new with this is where you'd register a brand new domain. Remember, this comes free with this package for the first year. So, whatever .com, .net, .org, Mobi, US Biz, or .co.uk, it's free for the first year. So you don't have to pay for that. So you're going to have a big savings there. Same if you want to transfer, if you're transferring from GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, that transfer fee is free for your first year. So again, it's a $15 savings, right then and there just by signing up. For me, I already have my domain and my NameHero account, so I'm going to use option 3 here. So my domain is keydiets.com that I'm going to be demonstrating with today. So if you're moving, or if you have your domain already, maybe you already have an account with this at NameHero, or maybe your domain's over at GoDaddy or Namecheap and you don't want to move it yet. That's fine. It is free to move it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You just have to update the name servers once you set up your hosting. So I'm going to use keydiets.com. I'm going to click use. All right, so now we're going to configure our package. You can see all the options we've already talked about. Our billing cycle. So as I mentioned, we start at 12 months, so 1 year, and goes up to 36 months. You save the most by signing up the longest. At NameHero, we reward customers for longevity, and from our experience, we've seen time and time again that customers just get a lot better experience going for 3 years because they don't have to worry about that credit card expiring. They don't have to worry about that payment every single year. So that's what I recommend. Up to you. Drop my site offsite backups. So at NameHero, we provide one night's backup for free. So if today's Wednesday, that means all the data from Tuesday was backed up, and we can always restore yesterday's backup. However, if you want more backups, let's say maybe 30 days, then you want to choose Drop My Site because you can store up to 30 days backup at Drop My Site. And this is based on the storage that you use. So as big as your site is. So 5 gigabytes and this is monthly price. So $2 a month for 5 gigabytes and up to 30 days backup. Highly recommend it. Some people don't want to do it, but you do have the complimentary nightly backups, but this is just an additional backup system. For me, $2 a month, I love that peace of mind. A dedicated IP address. If you are using your hosting account, you're going to be using email. This is going to ensure the highest level of email delivery. So again, if you're going to create email addresses on your account, this will make sure that you have the highest level of email deliverability because you won't be using a shared IP. You'll be using a dedicated IP. I recommend it. Most customers that don't choose this during sign up, they come back and get it later because it is a huge feature for email. Okay, so now you can see signing up for 3 years with our current fast fall sale, we're saving $172.51. So we're saving almost 50% off of our original rate. So the price for hosting for 3 years is $288. I mean, that's a really good deal. I mean, you don't have to pay for hosting for 3 years. You can host up to 6 websites. You have unlimited storage. We got the 30 days worth of backups. We got cloud hosting for $288. I mean, when you're comparing to like WP Engine and they're going to be charging like $130 a month, I mean, from a business standpoint, how do you beat this? And again, I'm not trying to toot our own horn. I'm just trying to talk logical business sense here with anyone. And we are doing our fast fall sale right now. This video is going on YouTube. It's going on our blog. You might watch it in spring. You might watch it next fall. You might watch it in winter. So I can't, promise this exact coupon is live when you watch this video. So if you are, and it is, take advantage of this, while it does last. All right, so we'll go to the checkout now, and on this final page, we're going to enter in our information and make our payment. And so I'm going to pause this video while I do that, and then we'll go ahead and continue on. Our order is completed, and at NameHero, as I said, we focus on 10 for 10 customer service and satisfaction. So we do have a quick survey. If you enjoyed your experience so far, maybe if this video even helped you out, we appreciate all 5s on these. You have the opportunity to share your experience of others, so we certainly appreciate those kind words as well. You can enter your name, the email auto pops, and this is just to follow up. It's not to send you sales offers or to send you any junk email. We hate spam just as much as you do. If you don't want to fill it out, don't worry. This is not required to get your hosting package. Just click the X and you're gone and right to your order. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and now proceed to the client area. This is my demo account, so I've got a couple different packages, but I need to change my name servers to start out because remember, I chose option 3 that I already had my domain and I was going to change my name servers. So under Cloud Web Hosting, I am going to navigate to my package. I just purchased this Key Diets plus Cloud package. And so on this, you can see my name servers are right here, ns7.namehero.net and ns8.namehero.net. Now notice that is namehero.net, not .com. All right, so I want to go to my domain. So since the domain's already at NameHero, I can just click on Manage Domain. I'm going to open it in another tab here. And we just have to make sure the domain is using the correct name servers for the hosting package. So I'm going to go back to here and click on Name Servers under Manage. And you can see I've already got these set. But if they weren't, I would click Use Custom and enter ns7.namehero.net and ns8.namehero.net and click Change. So that connects our domain to our web hosting package. And so for those of you that have your domain over at GoDaddy or somewhere else, log into that interface and set the name servers. If you register or transfer your domain to us, we automatically do that for you. Okay, so let's go back. So now keydiets.com is set up at NameHero. If I click the domain, you can see I just get a blank page that says proudly served by Lightspeed Web Server at keydiets.com. So the first thing I want to do is I want to install WordPress, because remember, the purpose of this video is to highlight the one-click staging environment. Again, I wanted to give a full background though before we started that, just so you know from start to finish how you set this up at NameHero, because the worst thing that I don't like with tutorials is if they start like in the middle of something and I don't even have it set up in the first place. So again, that's the beauty of putting this on YouTube, is you can skip ahead if you've already got this set up. So the first thing I want to do is install WordPress. So under Actions here, I want to log into cPanel. So under Actions, click Log into cPanel. Now, if you are a NameHero reseller or a NameHero VPS customer and you're wanting to do one-click staging, this is the part of the tutorial where you'll pick up on. You just have to be in the actual cPanel account of the site that you're wanting to set up the staging. Okay, so now to set up this staging, WordPress actually has to be installed by our one-click auto installer, Softaculous. So I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, and you're going to see Softaculous Apps Installer. So I'm just going to click it. Okay, so when I get inside of here, WordPress is the first piece of software we see, and I'm going to click Install. So I want to go through this and install WordPress on the domain. Now this is my original installation. Remember, I have nothing. This is a brand new hosting package. So I want to set up WordPress to get us started here. So what I'm going to do is you choose a protocol, HTTPS, right? We have free and automatic SSL, so that's what we want to use. The domain's Keydiets. Again, that's the only domain I have set up. If you have more than one domain set up in your account, then it'll show up here. In directory, when you go to Keydiets here, I want this to show my WordPress install. So because that, I'm going to remove the WP. Next, I can enter my site settings, the site name and description. I can change this later, so I'm not going to worry about this now. You can put the name of your site if you want, or the tagline. I'm not going to worry about enabling multi-site. The admin account, now this is a big one. Please don't use admin and pass. This will get your website compromised fast, because every attacker in the world, they want to try admin and pass. So I like to make my username something a little bit more unique. So let's just say rgray1. A combination of my first initial and last name and a number. Something just that's not easy to guess. The username's really not as a secure thing as the password, but still make it hard for someone to guess, because if you're using the username admin, and I did another video recently on YouTube about this, it's just asking for it, because if you use admin, that's the first thing someone trying to get into your WordPress is going to use. Next, click this key to get a secure password and copy it, put it in your password manager. Don't just use pass. We see the 99% of the security tickets at NameHero is because they used a weak admin username and a weak admin password. It's literally a 1-second change that can really make a big difference in your site. Your admin email, this is the email address for your admin account. If you ever lose your password or even username, it's going to be retrieved to this email. So use a valid email here. I'm just going to use the admin at Keydiets, but use your Gmail, Hotmail, whatever you use, put it in there. I speak English, that's what I'm going to use. There's some additional plugins here, like limit login attempts. We've got some software at NameHero that does this, like that prevents brute force attempts. So you can use this if you want. I don't really recommend it. Advanced options, if you don't know what you're doing, do not worry about this. The only options I like in this is auto update my plugins and themes, because again, that's the number one reason why we see WordPress other than the admin username and password, people not upgrading. And also the other one is upgrade to any latest version, major as well as minor versions as well. You can do minor versions if you want. If you're scared that a WordPress update is going to break your site, upgrade to only minor. If you don't have that fear, then upgrade to major and minor as well. But you want to keep WordPress updated. And if you're not the type of person that's going to log in on a regular basis and upgrade your WordPress, upgrade your plugins and themes, have it auto do it for you so you don't have to worry about it. So again, most people that submit security tickets at NameHero, their username or password was weak or they didn't upgrade. So if you click all these options and set it up correctly, you don't ever have to worry about that. So that's what I recommend doing, to each their own. I'm sure we'll still get plenty of tickets where people don't want to do that. Next, we've got all these themes here. And, you might want to go get your own WordPress theme. Since today we're doing a demo on the staging, I want to use a custom theme, and I'm not going to go to ThemeForest or whatnot and find one. So I'm just going to select one of these. These are free themes that are already on the server for you. You can search through them. The search box kind of stinks, so it's not the best. I think you have to be very, very generic. So like if we type in blog, we've got a couple, like 2 blog themes. I mean, come on. The search is not that good here, but you can demo these. You can kind of demo them and see what they look like. But, just if you don't want the basic WordPress one, I'm just going to select this one though. So we can show you the staging. Click install now. Now this is installing and setting up my WordPress. And you can see it takes like 2 seconds. It says it could take 5 minutes, it didn't take that long. So now if we go to key diets, you can see our blog is set up. WordPress is installed and we're ready to start writing on our site. We can also get into our admin area. So you can see here it auto logs me in because I'm already there. And I get my regular dashboard and all that. So now I'm ready to start, just working on my site, a regular WordPress site, ready to go. Now, of course, we want to get to the staging thing. But before I do, let's install some of my favorite plugins when I do a new WordPress installation. So I'm going to go to plugins here on the left and click add new. So the first plugin I like to add is called Really Simple SSL. So I think we can just do let's see if it comes up. Yep, Really Simple SSL. And remember, since NameHero, all accounts come with free security certificates. This just makes sure that all your themes and plugins, use SSL and you don't get those security warnings. Free plugin, it's got over 1 million active installs, 425, great reviews, updated very frequently. And of course, it's compatible. So I like to install this. It takes care of that SSL mess for us. We click activate and go ahead and activate SSL. Bam. So now we know our site, we have our SSL certificate. Now we know all our URLs will be secured. That's a common question we get at NameHero support is, I know I've got the free certificate, but how come my site's still not secure? Well, even though we give you the free certificate, you still have to actually secure your site. So if you're using WordPress, that Really Simple SSL does it all for you. And it really holds true to its name because literally within a minute, we've got our whole site safe and secure. So now, anything we click here uses this HTTPS. It's nice and secure, as we move throughout our site, even to a sample page. So that's one of the first ones. We'll go back to add new. Another one I like is called WordFence. WordFence is a free security plugin. And you can see WordFence security, fire, and malware scan. And I like it mainly because, one, it emails you every time someone logs into your admin area. So this way, if you get an email that someone's in your admin area and it wasn't you and no one should have your password, you need to get in and change your username and password. And 2, it emails you whenever there's an update. So whenever there's a WordPress update, a plugin update, or even a theme update, it lets you know. So that's the 2 main features I like. It also has a firewall, which keeps attackers out of your site, and also a complimentary malware scanner. Now at NameHero, we do malware scanning automatically for free every single night, every single day. On every file that's uploaded to NameHero, we automatically scan it. But it's just kind of an added bonus, right? Because it'll automatically scan your WordPress files regularly, and it's just another layer of defense. The more layers of defense you have, the better. So I like WordFence. We'll install now. Just takes a second. It takes a little bit more than the Really Simple SSL because it's a bigger download. But you can see over 1 million plus installs, over 3,200 reviews of great reviews. So it's really good stuff. And it's just one of those plugins that I highly recommend that you do add to your WordPress site. It's installed. We click activate. It just takes a second to go run through all the activation process. And again, anytime you have WordPress, security is a big concern. So highly recommend this. Now, this is going to send you alerts to this email address. So it asks first, remember how I said you're going to get the update alerts, the login alerts. So enter a valid email. So I'm just going to enter mine, Brian@NameHero.com. And here you can subscribe to their mail list. If you don't, don't. Of course, agree to their terms and continue. Okay, so that way now you'll get those alerts. Now they do have a premium version. The premium version has a couple extra features, but I don't use it, so I don't think you really need it either. So just click no thanks on that. Now if we go to WordFence and dashboard, there's a couple more steps. And one, they've got a tutorial. They'll walk you through everything. I don't think you need to do that. But I like to enable it to auto upgrade. And also I like to enable this web application firewall. Again, it's just another layer of defense against your site. So we click here to configure. And it's just it has to change your HT access. So it asks you to download your current one just so you have a backup. And it shows here you're on Lightspeed with Lightspeed PHP. We continue. And it's now optimized, close. So again, this just installs their web application firewall, adds another layer of defense against your website, and keeps you safe and secure. So you can go, check. There's many more features in WordFence that you can check out. They keep trying to get you in the premium for the real-time IP blacklist and all that, but it's really not needed for your average site. So again, having this is better than, absolutely better than nothing. So it's something I like. And we're going to do one more plugin. So I'm going to go back to plugins, add new, and that's that Lightspeed cache. So we'll type in Lightspeed, hit enter, Lightspeed cache, install now. And once again, this just speeds up our WordPress website. We're going to activate it. Now, as I said, if you're using, if you have an existing WordPress site and you're using like W3 Total Cache, you would have to actually deactivate that first. So we can go into settings here. And customize it. You can see it's got some default settings in here. If you don't know what these settings mean, don't worry about them. If you don't understand the purge cache, TTL and all that, you can leave those default. This caching, this just shows you what all is cached. If you want to cache mobile, that's the only default that's I like to turn on is the mobile caching. Save settings. It's going to cache all your other resources. If you need to purge the cache, if you're making changes, you can do that here. Then, of course, you want to exclude items from being cached. You can do that in there as well. So again, there's lots of settings. I've got several videos on our YouTube channel as well as our blog on the Lightspeed cache. But really, just installing the plugin, making sure it's enabled, that's enough to get you started. All right. So now if we go back to key diets, let's go back to the main page. Just clicking here. Okay, so now we've got our site. So now I want to show you this one-click staging. So here's our site. Let's say our WordPress site's up and running. And now I want to set up a staging environment because I want to change the theme, but I don't want my visitors to see the change, right? Because when I change themes, I probably got to configure it. Or not probably, I do have to configure it. So let's go back and learn what to do. So back to the NameHero client area. Let's start from there. Under Actions, I'm going to go back into cPanel. And so from here, I want to go back down here to my app installer, Softaculous, and click on that. And when I get in here, I can see now I've got one installation. Now to use the one-click staging, you have to have it set up in Softaculous. So that's important to know. If your WordPress install is not set up in Softaculous, I do have video tutorials on our YouTube channel, on our blog, on how to do that. But that's the purpose of this video, is to show you from scratch, how to set up WordPress in the beginning with us here at NameHero so you can take advantage of this. So you can see we've got this opportunity now to where we can create the staging right here. So we've got create staging, clone the site, remove the site, or modify the details of the existing site. So, if we just wanted to clone this, to make a clone, we can, if you want to copy your site, which, some people want to do to, redeploy. But what you want to do is create staging. So we hover over this little document icon, create the staging. Okay, so now it's going to talk about the setup. Where do we want the staging site? First, I like to do HTTPS, of course, since we have a secure certificate. The domain is key diets. If you had another domain, it would show here. Next, we give it a directory. So remember, our current install is in the root directory. That's where we see this. So for our staging, let's say we want to create it in one called stage. So now we go to keydiets.com/stage. We're going to see our site, but we can modify it and create a staging directory. Database name, you can name this whatever you want. I like the default. You can just call it new if you want. Maybe if this is your new database, and it can't exceed that. WP new. Let's see if it'll do that. There we go. All right, so we'll create the staging. And kind of the same process as the install. It's actually going back to our WordPress and copying everything that we have. So now you can see we have our staging URL and our new administrative URL. So basically we have a copy of our site on /stage, and we have a copy of our admin area on /stage/wp-admin. So let's check it out. So you can see /stage. This looks just like our site on keydiets.com. So it's the same site. It's copied it over. Now it's the same if we go into the admin area. You can see we have our same plugins. So everything on our install was simply copied over, and now we can modify it accordingly, and then we can push it out to a live site. So for example, let's go to our site and let's look. So we've got like my blog. On my WordPress blog, Hello World. So let's just change some stuff up so we can look at the changes. So let's go to settings in general. So instead of my blog, we're going to call it Key Diets Best Diet Blog. Save changes. Let's change that post. So instead of Hello World, we'll call it Hey Dieters, and update. And so now if we go back to Key Diets, you can see it did not edit that. But if we go back to our staging environment, I'll just click it here. We can see that now it says Key Diets, the best diet blog, Hey Dieters. So essentially we have a copy of our site where we can make all the changes that we want to make in /stage. So again, this is really beneficial if you're wanting to like change the theme and you don't want your visitors to see you doing that. So, for example, let's just add a new theme to this one. You can look through here. WordPress has got so many different ones that are free. They've got some premium ones as well. If I just search for blog, though, and let's just pick one here. Let's go to blog side. Install. Takes a second to download. So, this is years ago I ran a business and another online business. And I remember the pain when we wanted to, change our WordPress theme or upgrade the site. We actually had to manually set up our staging environment. And this is something we've been wanting at NameHero for a long time, is this one-click staging. And now it's live, and that's why I'm so happy to get this video pushed out. Okay, so I'm going to activate this theme. And again, I'm just doing this so we can I can show you what it looks like. So now if I look in /stage, I can refresh it and I've got a whole new theme. So remember, my current site looks like this. My staging looks like this. So I can actually change my whole site up, with the same content. Because remember, if you have content over here, it copies all that over, so you can go work on this. So you can make it look new. And you can see here, this theme, recommends a couple of plugins. Let's just see if we can install those just so I can show you when I bring it back over. So if we bulk install these, let's see, it might get, yeah, it's going to run through all these. Okay. And now we need to make sure they are activated. So bulk actions and activate. Okay, so now we've not only changed the theme, we've added some plugins. So now we have many more plugins other than just the ones I highlighted. We've got a whole new theme, and now we want to actually go and push this live. So we've added themes, we've changed the theme, or we've added plugins, we've changed the theme, we've made changes to our post. And now we want to go back live, right? That's the purpose of a staging site. So you can stage it all. It's different from your main site, but then when you're ready to push it out, what do you do then? So for those following along, we go back to cPanel. So let's go back from the very beginning. I'm going to go back to my client area here. And under Actions, I want to go into cPanel. So again, if you're a reseller or a VPS hosting customer, you follow along when we get back to cPanel. So I go back to cPanel. And I want to go down to my apps installer. So now go back to Softaculous. back in here, now you can see I've got two installations. So there are two independent installations. I've got my staging and I've got my main. But if you'll notice, beside my staging, I've got this one here called push to live, this one option that's not here. And this means this will actually take this install and push this into this one. So let's click it. So you can see my default options, this will replace all the files of your live installation, with the ones in staging and installation be erased and import the database from your current one. You can actually customize this if you want to overwrite stuff and all that. I don't recommend customizing unless you know exactly what you're trying to do. This will just push the changes, whereas you want to customize, it'll do all this stuff. So, it's up to you how you want to handle it, but I recommend just leaving it default. But all we have to do is push to live. And you can see it's now taking all of our staging changes and bringing them over to our live site. So again, this takes a little bit more time, but not a lot. Now let's go take a look. All right, so now you can see keydiets.com is now using the staging site. It's now live. If we go into our admin area now, we'll see our new plugins, we'll see our themes. If we go to plugins, installed plugins, you can see all the new stuff is there. And also, if we go to /stage, S-T-A-G-E, if I can learn to spell today, if we go to stage, you can see that we're still getting this. I thought it would remove it for us. Let's go back here and take a look. Okay, so it does retain this. It does retain the staging site until we actually remove it. So if there's more changes we need to make. So see, we could click this red X when you're finished. So now I've got my staging site, I've got my live site. We've pushed the changes out. So now to remove it, I need to click this red X. And so this just verifies I want to remove it all, remove it, gone. And this is good practice. You want to do this for security, right? Because the staging site has another version of WordPress. So of course, once you're finished it, you want to remove it, and you remove it safely. So now if we go to keydiet/stage, we're not going to see it. See, it just goes 404. And of course, our staging sites now are live sites, and now we're ready to rock and roll. So that's all there is to it. And again, this is so extremely powerful because those of you that have ran WordPress for a long period of time or have large WordPress sites, you know how big of a pain in the butt it is when you want to stage it, when you want to create a new design or make changes, but you don't want your visitors to see it. Now you can do all of this right inside of cPanel, right inside of your control panel, no coding or uploading or FTPing necessary. It's just a couple of clicks and we can create a staging site. We can edit it as we see fit, and then we can push it out. And also, we push it out once and we're like, well, we need some more changes. We still have the staging environment set up that we can go make those changes and then push it out when we're finished. So this prevents, your visitors from ever seeing, any site disruption while you're making a new website. So if you have any questions on this, feel free to comment on this video. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out, we certainly appreciate a thumbs up here on YouTube. We appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube channel because we publish tons and tons of WordPress, web hosting, reseller hosting content to make your hosting experience a really good one. But I absolutely love this feature of our one-click staging. I really hope you find as much benefit as I do in it. And again, this is for all of our hosting packages at NameHero. Even though I demonstrated our basic hosting, it's available on our reseller, on our VPS as well. If you're a reseller, all your customers have the same access to the staging as well, as do you if you have a VPS. So everyone, thanks a bunch for using NameHero, for trusting us to be your high-speed cloud web hosting provider of choice. It's certainly our pleasure working with you. If you ever need anything, just of course let us know and we'd be more than happy to help you out. So thanks so much for watching. Remember to give us that thumbs up and to share and like us on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks so much, everyone.